difference.
Make ready, let's go!
Risk your life for a better world. But some things you never see coming.
Security's early. You with me?
Today, the world's elite fighting force betrayed our nation. On my orders, the G.I. Joes were terminated with extreme prejudice.
What's going on, guys? I know this is a little late getting this to you, but here's the review for G.I. Joe Retaliation. Alright, so it's been several years since we last got G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra, which was probably one of the dumbest movies I had seen in quite some time. Had no direction, had ridiculous power suits, and just really glaringly bad CGI, and not even the goodwill and acting ability of Joseph Gordon-Levitt could save that movie, because let's face the facts, he was pretty damn awful in it. And you even had fucking Doctor Who, Christopher Eccleston, in the movie playing Destro, which he was incredibly miscast, and as great as actor as he is, he couldn't save it either. Channing Tatum was at his most wretched in his acting career. He's only recently gotten much better after working with the likes of Soderbergh. And you had Marlon Wayans and a bunch of other, like a ragtag group of people. This movie, while, yes, it's a ragtag group of actors, this movie actually didn't have to try very hard to be better than the other one. And maybe that might be the issue, but this particular film, you still have Channing Tatum, who is returned, but he's also got Dwayne Johnson in as Roadblock, and we also got Ray Park returning as Snake Eyes, and a few other characters who I actually thought were dead made it back, because Byung-Hun Lee, who played Storm Shadow in the first movie, he's back. And they added in a few other characters. You still got Arnold Vosloo in there, because, you know, obviously he was Zartan in the last movie, and he pulled off this grand scheme, which, at this point, this isn't really a spoiler, but he goes in undercover as the president, and has basically been running the country. Cobra has been running the entire country, because Zartan is in the most powerful position in the United States. And Arnold Vosloo came back for this role, even though he really didn't have to, because, I mean, honestly, he's barely in it, because the majority of the time, it's the actor who is playing the president from the last movie who returns, Jonathan Pryce, who is amazing in this movie. He is the one who you actually see Zartan as the most. I would even venture to say 97% of the movie. But hey, I'm all for Arnold Vosloo getting a check, so, I mean, yeah, I ain't mad at the guy. And also, you have a few other actresses and actors coming in. You got Adrienne Palicki, who comes in as Lady J. And you also have Elodie Young, who comes in as Jinx, who some of you may remember if you've seen the original animated G.I. Joe movie. And you got DJ Catrona, who comes in as Flint. I don't really know a lot of these people. I think they may be more from, like, television and indie films. So, forgive me if I don't know who they are. Another one that we get in this film is Luke Bracey, who I'm guessing is playing Cobra Commander or whatever. I mean, I think it might actually be more his voice than anything else, because I remember seeing him at a point where he didn't have his mask on and it looked like somebody completely different, but I don't know. Not important, don't really care, because you never see his face, so it doesn't even fucking matter. And then you got the RZA, who comes in as the Blind Master, and if you saw The Man with the Iron Fist, then you know the RZA is a horrible actor, and he is equally as horrible in this movie. He's actually one of the areas where I'm like, oh my god, please get his scenes over with. But other than him, you also got Ray Stevenson coming in as Firefly, who's one of my favorite little side Cobra operatives. You even get Walton Goggins, who comes in for a little bit, and he always plays like an angry dude or some sleazy, slimeballish guy. And, of course, you got Bruce Willis, who comes in as the original G.I. Joe. The movie has a lot of good stuff going for it. The acting in it is... It's okay. It's nothing to write home about. This is a fucking G.I. Joe movie. I can tell that the director, John Chu, he actually understands what G.I. Joe is about, because this actually feels like watching one of those episodes on a Saturday morning, and you feel like you're watching an episode of G.I. Joe. I mean, it has the vehicles. It has the characters. The only difference between this movie and a actual G.I. Joe cartoon is the fact that when these people shoot, they actually hit each other. People are dying in this movie. And I don't even really want to go into some of the major plot twists in this, because, I mean, there's actually some stuff that happens. I don't really want to spoil it, so we'll just leave it at that. But just know there are some twists and turns here and there. But ultimately, one thing that you have to go into this movie understanding is that the dialogue in this movie is absolutely abominable. There are moments when it's actually good and it does work. There's some scenes with Dwayne Johnson and Channing Tatum that work pretty well. There's some scenes with Adrian Palicki that work okay. But there are some scenes with Cobra Commander, I'm just like, God damn, what? I like the fact that they actually got the voice. I mean, they didn't go for the classic Cobra Commander voice. I mean, he sounds more like Dr. Claw than anything else, but they were able to make it work. I was like, oh my God, there are just some parts in here. I'm just like, why did y'all say that? That had to have sounded bad when you shot it. Whatever. Anyway, just get through it. But just know that the movie is fraught with poor dialogue. It's also suffering from it's a slightly weak script, but I mean, come on. This is a G.I. Joe movie. This isn't fucking Shakespeare. And I'm not even saying that this is one of those movies where you can just check your brain at the door, but it's one of those where it's just like, you know what you just paid money to go see. You know, it's like if I go into a movie, if I pay money to go in and see Citizen Kane, I expect Citizen Kane. If I go in and pay my money to see G.I. Joe, I don't expect A Midsummer's Night Dream or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. I expect a fucking G.I. Joe movie, and that's exactly what they give you. Like I said, probably the best of the action sequences in the movie, they actually kind of blow their wad in the trailer, but there's still some other good scenes in there that work really well. I thought Ray Stevenson did a good job as Firefly, and some of his scenes with Roadblock, Dwayne Johnson are pretty damn good. But once again, the two things that hold this movie back that aren't script related and aren't plot related, two particular actors, and I've already mentioned one of them. That's the RZA. The other one is Bruce Willis. I love Bruce Willis, but man, right now you are not batting even 500, because you already put out a shitty Die Hard movie in February, and then all of a sudden Gerard Butler comes back from romantic comedy hell and brings us a better Die Hard movie in Olympus Has Fallen than what you brought to us in an actual Die Hard film. And in this movie, you come in and you're not really chewing up the scenery. It's actually Jonathan Pryce and Dwayne Johnson that are just chewing up scenery left and right. And I don't know, I felt like this movie could have been a lot better than what it actually was. Did I enjoy the movie? I thought it was okay. Did I have fun in the theater with it? I thought, yeah, sure, it was fun. It was a good popcorn movie. I didn't have to think about it a whole lot. And by the time that I kind of started thinking, all right, this is kind of wearing on me, the movie was over. So it didn't overstay its welcome. So if I had to just come right down to it and give it a rating, I would, God, man, this is going to sound so much harsher than it actually is, but I don't really feel like G.I. Joe is one of those movies you have to actually rush out and go see on the big screen. It's not even something I think I would buy on Blu-ray. Honestly, I kind of almost forgot about the movie since I've seen it. I had to actually kind of sit back and think about it, but I do think it's actually worth watching, and I think you could actually enjoy it. But I also think it's one of those movies that's better served at home, so I'd have to say this movie is a must-see on TV, but an enthusiastic must-see on TV. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, some movies are just better to be watched at home when you can just kind of chill out, look at your iPad, or read a book, or talk on the phone with a friend, or have friends over and enjoy the movie, and kind of just enjoy it on your own time. So, like I said, comment, like, and subscribe. Keep it real with me like I keep it real with you. Tickle that subscribe button so you can get caught up on all the new content, and stay tuned for more.
Let's move. World ain't saving itself.
We have to assume that there's no one we can trust.
There is one man.
You all right?
Yeah. You alright?
My cholesterol's a little high.